Welcome to Children at Play, a podcast where we talk about stuff.
Yeah, stuff and things.
New episodes every Thursday, so if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you like what you hear, make sure you follow us on all social medias. We can be found at cap_podcast. That is CAP_podcast on both Instagram and Twitter.
Do what he said.
And without further ado, we hope you enjoy this episode of Children at Play, a podcast.
Get your popcorn because it's starting now. What's up, people? Welcome back to the podcast. I am Tristan, a.k.a. Big Bad Little Body, a.k.a. Red Light Special. And you are?
I am JALEN, a.k.a. I don't really know what to say,
Ooh.
a.k.a. your mama's favorite friend. If you catch my drift, if you see where I'm coming from.
We
wink,
like
wink.
moms.
Yeah, we do.
We're friendly here. All right, so before we get started, I just want to say thank you to 200. What was that? 200 people who took the time out of their day to watch our first podcast.
Yeah,
that was
thank
very.
you.
I don't know, like I wasn't
Unexpected.
expecting that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Everybody who watched it, even if it wasn't 200 people, but we got 200 views
200 plus
in the first day of being up.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's very wild. We got a little late, so apologies for that. We're usually going to try to drop our podcast every Thursday. Technical difficulty, so we got it, Saturday morning? Ugh.
Some things happened that, we didn't see, coming, but we figured it out.
We figured it out. And so now every podcast will be dropping on Thursdays. We do record on Sundays, though, so this is Sunday.
Today is Easter Sunday.
Yeah. Happy Easter.
But whatever. Happy Easter.
Yeah,
people.
happy Easter. Happy Resurrection
Jesus Day. Uh-oh. Is that Christmas? Is Christmas Jesus Day?
I don't know. That's for the people to decide.
Was Jesus? He was born on Christmas.
Technically, he was born on Christmas. But we digress. Speaking of, for the people to decide, we tasked you guys with some things.
We did.
We asked you to ask us some questions.
You guys did.
We wanted to know what y'all wanted to see in the podcast.
We found out.
Yeah, and we are podcasters for the people. This podcast is for the people. And
we are people podcasters. PP.
PP-ers. PP-ers.
Oh. Chill out, bro. Damn. Chill out.
Yeah, so, we got a couple of questions. People who participated, thank you to those who participated.
All right, hold up. Before you get started, I got one more plug. One more plug. I'm not getting paid for this, all right? But I'm going to do it anyway. If you guys are looking for the latest trends in fashion and men's streetwear, check out BruteImpact.com. I'm an ambassador for that brand now.
So you are getting paid to do this. Did you just lie to the people?
I'm not getting paid to plug this in this podcast.
Get you. Okay.
And I'm not going to lie, bro. It's pretty pricey, but they have this option where you could just pay 4 payments over time, 25% of the original price. It's kind of expensive, but they help you out.
They have nice clothes, though. They
have pretty cool clothes. I actually had to buy a jacket, whatever. But
you don't sound very enthused about this.
Because that jacket was, look, it's a good brand. They're cool. You can get 25% off if you use my promo code. You guys ready? You ready?
I'm ready.
The promo code is Tristan25. That's TRYSTAN 25. 25% off.
A salesman at work.
Look, man, I'm out here trying to get pissing.
I'm saying last week you were, acing the SAT, and now you're just 21st century salesman. What a guy.
I'm selling my body on that website. Don't say that.
Nobody wants you.
Chill out, bro. Hey, all right, come on.
JALEN or Tristan? Drop a comment down below.
JALEN or Tristan.
Drop a comment down below.
Shoot.
If you're listening to this, go to our Instagram, go to our Twitter, drop some comments.
Comments.
We're gonna post pictures of both of us. Whoever gets the most likes. Oh, this is what we're gonna do. Whoever gets the most likes gets to pie the other person.
Pie?
Yeah, we'll get a pie and pie them, and we'll put it on our Instagram.
I'm down, bro. So yeah, let's do this little friendly competition.
We'll shake on it.
Do we shake?
Yeah, you heard it here first. We're shaking right now. If you're watching, you're seeing us shake. It's a bet
Right.
within a week. We'll give it a week. Yeah.
So do we?
We'll post it on Thursday. So when this podcast airs, check our Instagram. That's cap_podcast.
Yes.
Check our Instagram. Check our Twitter. cap_podcast1. Check those out. And then,
hold up, bro. We're posting this upcoming Thursday.
Exactly.
So we're going to start the poll when we post this video.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I thought.
And so it's going to run for
until
I guess Sunday, because that's when we film it. Or no, it can run for a whole week. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to run that, and we're going to see who JALEN versus TRYSTAN.
Listen, no hard feelings. You know what I'm saying? Just
it's all love.
Be honest. You know?
Yeah, it's all love. It's all love. You think I'm ugly?
I know I'm ugly. So.
Yeah, we all know. But anyways, like we said, we're a podcast for the people. If we're plugging out clothing, I wore my Ask More Questions hoodie today. One of them, shout out Ninji. That's my best friend, one of my best friends, my other best friend, right here. Other best friend in California. Other best friend right upstairs, Got a lot of them.
A lot of best friends.
Shout out the brand. That's 33 by NG.
For the people.
Check him out. Order some hoodies. Very dope stuff. But without further ado,
all right,
we're getting back to these questions.
Right. Yes.
We're getting back to these questions.
Getting back to the people.
To what you guys want to hear.
Yes.
What you guys want to see.
You guys don't care about our clothes.
Yeah. So not very many people asked us questions, but
the few that did, we appreciate.
We do appreciate it. And so Brooklyn asked us about a couple of our firsts. So I don't really know what firsts, but I mean, most people's first they talk about, the easy one. First. Let's go first kiss. Tristan, what was your first kiss?
My first kiss, I really don't remember. It was a very long time ago, but I guess it depends on when you want to count your first kiss because...
Mine is the same regardless.
I don't know, because okay,
we'll do it this way. Give me your first actual kiss. The first time your lips touched somebody else's lips that was not in your family, and then also the first one you're going to count as your first kiss.
I want to count my very first kiss with somebody who's not in my family. My first kiss, because it's a kiss, bro. It's a kiss.
Okay. So there we go. We got it. Now, what's the story?
But the thing is, I was very young. I don't remember.
You don't remember
the instant or what the incident was.
Incident.
Incident is that the incident? It was an incident. Nigga, I was a juvenile. I was a delinquent. Still am, but. I don't remember. I would have to say I was 4
years old.
6 maybe. But I was doing more than kissing.
Do you remember the person? Okay, we don't... More than kissing.
But not just I was
So who was it with?
I don't know if I should name drop, bro. I mean...
Okay, I guess you don't have to name drop, but was she just a crush?
It was a girl from my hometown. It wasn't a crush, just a girl from my hometown.
And you just said, I'm going to plant one on your lips.
And we were always, around each other because the whole, my mom was her mom's best friend. It was oh, this is your auntie, but that makes you think this is your cousin.
Okay, Alabama man.
Exactly. But we're not really cousins.
No hate to anybody from Alabama. We love you if you're from Alabama, but
Look, rumors.
Right. Rumors spread.
We weren't really cousins, of course, so that's why it's okay to talk about now. But I was I did a lot of shit when I was 4 or 5 years old.
That's crazy.
So yeah, 4 or 5, I was doing more than kissing with. Dang, that's wild.
That is pretty wild.
Just think about a 4-year-old,
Yeah. So to put that into context, my little sister, I have a 3-year-old little sister, and I have a 5-year-old little sister. She just turned 5. Oh, she turned 6 this year. That's crazy.
You're a bad brother.
Anyways, and so I can't imagine my 3-year-old or 5-year-old little sister just making out with anybody.
Somebody. Look, when you're bored and from the South and left alone, stuff happens, man.
I've been bored alone and in the South, and nothing happens like that.
Stuff happens, man. God.
But hey, I didn't play school either, and people agree with you on that. So maybe people are like this too. If you were like that, leave a comment. Let us know.
Don't leave me out here to, what's it? Is hang by myself? I don't know. Leave me out to dry. By myself. Don't make me feel
idiom?
like
Is that what that is? An idiom?
I haven't heard that word in so long. Don't do that to me, man. Like, I already feel kind of weird admitting this crap.
You should. But maybe not. Maybe there's people out there who are, making out with their kind of not really cousins.
Not really at all cousins.
Sure. Okay, well, okay.
All right, let me ask you. What was the question? What was your first kiss?
Yes, my first kiss. I guess I'm kind of embarrassed, but on a different way. So I didn't have my first kiss until I was 16 years old.
Bitch.
That hurt.
You heard something?
Okay. Anyways, I was 16 years old because nobody liked me up until that point.
Crazy.
And it was with this girl that I had a crush on since, for a very long time. This was my junior year of high school. She was also my first girlfriend. And so we we had just started dating that summer, and I'd had a crush on her since we were freshmen. So we had just started dating, and so we had been dating for 2 months, and I had not kissed this girl because I was just afraid. I didn't know how to kiss.
I feel that.
I didn't know what to do. And then by this point, when you get to this age, it's you get even more nervous because everybody has kissed by then.
Oh, okay.
And so it's what if I do it wrong? Or, oh, snap, everybody else has done it. I haven't. So I was just real nervous.
You can't kiss wrong, but
Yes, you can. Have you ever had one of them little wet kisses where a girl just sucks on your lips and it's just you leave you back up and it's just
those are the best ones.
What is
if
wrong
you ever
with
kiss
you?
me, lick my face.
No, I need a nice, just decent kiss,
That's nice.
It doesn't have to be all wet. I don't need you to suck on my lips.
Ooh, hey, bro, chill out, bro.
But okay, I'm talking about this is like their mouth and just opens it and just closes it on top of my mouth. It's just a very wet.
I'm here for all that.
Anyways,
I'm here for it.
So my first kiss, I remember asking one of my brother's friends, but this was back when I was younger, when I thought, I was gonna lose my kissing virginity in middle school. And I was like, how do you kiss? And then he was like, you just do in your locker, do lip push-ups.
Huh?
Yeah, he was like, do lip push-ups in your locker. I didn't do it, but and he was doing lip push-ups on the wall. And,
is that what he did? That's what he was doing?
I don't know. I think he was just joking, but that's what he was telling me to do. And so I didn't do it, but it was anyways. So I get to junior year, and it's I still haven't kissed this girl. We've been dating for 2 months. I feel a lame. I feel very disappointed. I feel like she's gonna break up with me if I don't kiss her.
Mm-hmm.
So one day, she came over my house, and we were in my room, and the door was open because my mom didn't want me to close the door. But we were just chilling in my room, and I had this bunk bed, but the bottom half of the bunk bed was a futon, so it was a couch, and we're watching a movie. And then she was about to go, and we just kissed, but I skipped the whole awkward little first kiss peck, you're done. It was kiss, make out the first time I ever kissed, and it wasn't really awkward, or at least I don't think it was awkward. Maybe it was awkward for the other person, but in my opinion, it wasn't awkward. Okay, but I remember the first time I kissed her in public was different because I didn't kiss her out there, and a lot of people would kiss in the hallways or hold hands and kiss at the bus port and stuff, and I never did that. But I remember the first time I did that too. We walked up to the bus port and she was about to leave, and I was like, hold up. Then
wait a minute.
Spun her around, dipped
it's
her,
a chop.
Kissed her. It was very, very romantic. All the wind started blowing. Oh. Yeah, my hair was just flowing in the wind.
So
music started to play.
Where do you go from a kiss to a makeout? What makes it a makeout?
It's more intense. A kiss is just or even it can be longer, but makeout is multiple types of kissing. It's not. It's there's stages of it, maybe a French kiss,
Because
lip biting, maybe.
I have been I got some very weird stories, but I have been kissing not like this, but just pecks. But then the other person would say, "Oh, we just made out." That's not making out to me. That's not making out. All right. I don't know.
So what's making out for you?
The stuff you don't like.
No, it's not that I don't like it. It's just I don't like I don't like.
All right. If my tongue is not in your mouth, we're not making out.
I can agree with that, but I think you can make out without putting a tongue in somebody's mouth.
Well, maybe
It's just
maybe not
intense,
in
it's
your
just
mouth,
intense
but just
kissing.
using tongue.
So you just like magic conch shell it just.
I should cure that bit. All right, look. I just use tongue. That to me makes it a make out. Maybe not in your freaking mouth, but just.
How do you use tongue if it's not in somebody's mouth?
Hey, man. You want to find out?
And
Don't do that.
next question. What's another first?
What's
Tristan?
another question?
Well, I mean, that was a general question. Your first. It wasn't necessarily your first kiss. We can do another first. Or
Hold
we
up.
can just,
Well, no. Your first?
Yeah, so first.
Okay, who was your first, kind of on the same topic, with just first, like, actually, I want to say girlfriend, like.
Okay.
No, or how was your first breakup?
Better question.
Yeah.
Okay. My first breakup hit me hard because, I mean, obviously it was my first girlfriend, but like I said, I was 16. By this point, when we had broke up, I was 17. So we dated for like a year. And like, I had the biggest crush on this girl for the longest time. And like, before that, I had been friend zoned all the time, like all through middle school, elementary school, just friend zone. With her, I was like, cool, I'm in the friend zone again. But then we ended up dating. I was like, this is amazing. And like, we were cool and stuff. And so, without going into too many details, but like the summer before we broke up, we hadn't seen each other like that whole summer because she was like in New York. And so we had just been like basically long distancing our relationship in high school on FaceTime while she was in New York, which was cool. But you know how that works, not seeing somebody for a substantial amount of time, especially when you're that young, can kind of reach some things, maybe. But she ended up coming back. Ooh. And we still didn't kind of like see each other, but then we started school and we were like hanging out again. But she started like hanging out with her friends a lot. And I guess her friends didn't necessarily like me. I don't really know why. But I guess they just thought that she could do better, kind of, because I wasn't like she got really popular and I wasn't like one of the big time popular.
Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
I wasn't one of like the big time popular because I mean, I was like kind of known. I became more known the following year. But I guess, I don't know, they just didn't know me and they were like, who's this guy? Like, why are you with him or whatever? And then some other drama happened with some other girl. And basically I was like, not like me with some other girl said something about her. And I was like, oh, I'm sure she didn't mean it that way. Like, I'll talk to her. And then I guess my girlfriend got offended by that and told her friends, and her friends were like, oh yeah, see, da-da-da-da-da. And then she was like, yeah, we're going to break up now. And I'm pretty sure initially she broke up with me over like text, but then I was like, what?
What a savage.
And then she was like, you know
Savage.
what, it's fine. But like 3 days later, she like FaceTimed me and was like, yeah, we're not gonna be dating anymore. And this was the top of my senior year too, like the first, like maybe first week of school, second week of school.
Oh, this is recently. Oh, I guess not recently, but
I mean 4 years ago. Yeah, first week of school, senior year, and I was like, wow. And I was like distraught. I remember when it happened, I was like, what? I like broke a computer keyboard. I was just like, I was like, what?
Oh.
And then I went and told my mom.
It's like you didn't know how to cope with that,
exactly.
So you kind of did what just you thought you should have.
Or it was just doing? there was a keyboard in front of me, and I was just sitting there, and I was like.
Aggression.
Just not even anger or aggression. I was just like, it was just frustrating. I was kind of in shock and in awe, and it was just whatever was in my hands. I was just like, snapped it in half. And then I went to my mom's room.
Sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah, and I was like, Mom,
sorry.
She broke up with me. And she was like, what?
Damn.
And it was crazy because, I mean, years later, me and the person are still friends, kind of. I mean, a lot has happened with our relationship since then, but we're still cool, I suppose. But I mean, years later, we talked about it, and it was like, yeah, you didn't really do anything wrong. And I was like, yeah, I know.
Wait. So you asked this person?
We were just talking about like relationships and things of that nature. And they were like, yeah, I mean, you didn't really do anything wrong. Like you weren't really a bad boyfriend. It I really didn't have a reason. I just,
Just ended it.
yeah. And which is cool. Like, I mean, we've both, gone our separate ways now. Like,
He's doing that and she's doing something else.
right. But I mean, I always have love for you. You know who you are. A lot of people probably know who you are.
I know who she is.
Of course you know who she is. Yeah, you do. But yeah.
Good.
I'm still there. Still there for them if they need me, I'll be there, I guess.
Hit this man up, bro. Just talk to him.
On
some friendly stuff, you know what I'm saying? Just, hey, just like that.
And I'll be like, hey, hope you're doing all right.
Is that good? Did I do a good job for trying to, plug you in?
You didn't have to. Happily in a relationship right now, guys.
Oh, I forgot. Well, I said friendly though. I said friendly.
Happily in a relationship.
Happily.
Okay, Tristan. Speaking of
what?
This is good for you. First girlfriend, or whatever you would consider the closest to a girlfriend.
I don't even know, bro. I have a lot of those then, like, if you consider it a girlfriend. But fuck it. The first one.
Wait, you've had a lot of girlfriends?
I guess not technically, because, like, when do you count somebody being a girlfriend or a boyfriend? Like,
I'm sorry. Pardon me. I needed my podcast water. That's right. Your ASMR for today.
When do you count when did you count somebody being a boyfriend or a girlfriend? Like, what age?
When I asked her to say, "Will you be my girlfriend?"
But like, is there like a certain age? Like,
I think for the sake of this conversation, we can count middle school relationships. I don't think we're counting elementary school relationships.
Okay, well,
unless you like started dating in 5th grade and y'all dated till like y'all were sophomores, juniors in high school.
No. All right, but okay, I have a story then. So it's 6th grade.
Oh my gosh.
Funny, this girl's name is the same as his name.
Is it really?
Yeah. And my freaking ear, my headphones. So like we're in 6th grade. We're in, I think it's a math class. And I noticed that this girl, like in the class before this period, so if I'm sitting facing like the whiteboard this way, she sat where he sat, like on that wall. But every time I would look over there.
You're so not descriptive.
Bro, I literally said she sat right here, but like on that wall
what
facing
about the
me.
people that are just listening in theory?
Bro, obviously you're listening in theory.
Yeah, but I'm saying like who don't have a video reference or are not looking at you.
She's sitting to my right.
Thank you.
She's sitting to my right. But if I'm facing like forward, her forward is facing me.
Say that word again.
Forward, like the truck.
How do you spell that?
Ford, Foward, right?
So,
but I don't pronounce the forward, bro. Like forward.
Wait, spell it again.
Foward. Forward.
So I guess low key, I pronounce it wrong too. I say forward.
Forward.
Like
you say like
words.
forward.
Yeah, forward.
Back. All right, let me get to my stuff. Okay, I forgot what I was saying.
She sat to the right of you.
To the right of me, and her front, or her, like, I guess, her looking straight ahead would be looking at me, whatever. So every time I would look to, like, my right just to, I don't know, look over there, whatever. Well, I knew she was there, so I knew what I was doing. She was always looking at me, like, staring.
Wait, what kind of configuration were your desks in to where she's looking at you while you're looking at the whiteboard?
Maybe like my table was just straight ahead, like not.
Oh, so y'all were in like tables. It wasn't like desks.
Or was it desk? I think it was table. I don't remember, bro. But I'm gonna say it was a table, but with the little cubbies under them. You know what I'm saying? With the things, you put your books in there and you sit down.
So were they individual? You had your own.
It wasn't in. The cubbies were, but it was a whole table.
So like it's like science tables, like with the black top on them.
It wasn't a black top though, but I know what you mean though. But just like a table that looks like the floor. You can't see our floor, but it looks like a table.
Our floor looks like a floor, like hardwood. It's wood.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Can I get past this story? Okay. This part of the story, bro. This is not even important.
Everything's
I
important.
just know
the details.
I'm screaming and crap, bro.
The details.
I just noticed this one girl stared at me, okay, all the time. And I was like, hey, she kind of cute, man. I never spoke to her though, and like she never spoke to me either. But when you know, you just know. You know.
You know.
You know. So anyway, that's that class. But in this other class, I guess I had a friend. His name was Brandon. Shout out Brandon. I don't know what he does right now. Ooh, whatever. But he knew her and he knew me. And I think he told me like, hey, bro, I think she likes you. Da 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 da. I'm like, bet. What's her name? I don't, like I said, I didn't talk to her at all. Oh, her name is Beep. And like literally, bro, like in like within the next 5 minutes, we started dating, bro. Because it was just like,
What?
It was like, okay, what's her name? That and whatever. I'm Tristan. And then
Do you want to be my girlfriend? Just like that?
No, not even. I never spoke to her, bro. So like, I'm telling you, like, I think Brandon gave me a piece of paper, and I wrote, "Do you want to be my girlfriend?"
Yes or no with the box.
Yes or no, box, check mark, all that crap. And I gave it to him to give to her. I'm sitting there, and it gets back to me, and she's like, or she checks yes, and just imagine. I'm sitting here and she's sitting like in a chair or whatever, but like in the front of the classroom. And we slowly, like inch by inch, just scoot towards each other.
What?
Like it was so great.
In the middle of the class. So how long did y'all date?
Well, I don't know how long we dated, but I liked her a lot. I liked her a lot.
Did you get her number or anything? Like, did y'all like talk eventually?
I'm pretty sure we got each other's number the same day. I just remember that moment, the moment we started dating. But you don't remember anything else? Anything after that, not really.
Where is she now?
She has a man. She just posted on Instagram today. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where she's at. I think she went to like a school in LaGrange or something. But she cool, you know what I'm saying? You know?
I wonder how she remembers this story.
Hopefully the same exact way, because that joint was funny.
Wait, so y'all literally scooted across the class?
Literally, inch by inch.
And nobody noticed anything?
People probably saw us and thought, what the fuck are these people doing? But hey,
the teacher didn't say, oh, snap. That reminds me, since you said you like passed notes, oh my gosh. When I was in 5th grade, I guess this is kind of my first girlfriend, but I don't really count it. But there was this girl, and like I had a crush on her in like 5th grade or whatever, and we were in the same class. And I remember at one point, like I think she knew I liked her, and like she had said she liked me, but then she started dating some other kid. So I was in class and I like wrote her like a strongly worded note, but like I guess not even strongly worded. It was just like,
listen, madam.
Hey, it's okay if you like him, but if you like him, let me know that you like him so I can stop liking you. Things like that. And I was like, it's okay, like, just let me know something. And so I try to like, when I was in class, I was not sly at all. Like I didn't try to like, pass notes through people. I would just literally stand up in the middle of class, walk across the class, hand you the note, and walk back. Because I was like, no teacher is gonna really think like,
if you're that bold, you're not passing notes. Yeah.
Exactly. You have nothing to hide. So it's like, that's what I would do.
That's smart.
Yeah. But I think this time I tried to like pass the note through people. And my teacher, I think her name was Miss Jackson. And she was like, what is that? And he's like, oh, is that a note? And then she like gets the note, goes to the front of the classroom, opens up the note and reads it out loud. And I was so annoyed because I hate when people like read what I write, but read it incorrectly. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, don't read the thing how I wrote incorrectly. And so she was reading it and she sounded so angry. Excuse me. And I was like, it wasn't meant to be that angry. I wasn't even mad that she read the note. I was just like, you made me sound like a butthole. And it just wasn't supposed to be like that. So then I sat on the other side of the classroom and now everybody knows that my little heart was broken.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a story of myself. When I was in 2nd grade, it wasn't like anything about passing notes, but like there was this girl that my friend and I both like, I guess thought was cute or whatever. And at lunch that day, we're in second grade, all right? At lunch that day, homeboy tells me, hey, you see her, bro? I want to lick her toes.
What?
And I thought that was so funny. I was cracking up. Lick her, whatever. So I get back to the classroom after lunch. And I'm still laughing. Like, I think the teacher is trying to read a book and I'm just laughing, right? And then she stops reading. She's like, Tristan, what is so funny? But she was like mad. Like, what's so funny? Do you want to say in front of the class? I was like, no. And then she was like, no, say it in front of the class right now. So I stood up and I was like, at lunch today, he said he wanted to lick her toes.
Oh,
and
no.
And she was like, that is disgusting. You and him go outside or whatever and wait for me to get out there. I don't remember what she said afterwards. Talk about like my heart was beating. I was nervous. I was like, he said I want to. I was like, bro.
You should have made something up.
I didn't know how to lie back then, bro.
How old were you?
I don't know how old you are in second grade, but...
Oh, I guess like 7, 8? That's hilarious.
I was like, I don't want to say this, but she maybe said it.
That's funny. That's hilarious. Okay, I think we're good with the firsts.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Traumatizing stuff.
Okay, next question.
Look at those fingernails. Them things clean.
Oh, you're talking about yours?
My fingernails.
Oh, on the iPad, the picture.
Yeah.
Ew. Okay, I'm gonna do. We'll do 2 more. This one,
you know how long we just talked after one question just now.
But I know one of them is gonna be short because it's just a me question.
All right.
So I got a question.
All right.
What is it like growing up in Atlanta?
Oh yeah.
And so I guess for me, I can answer that question because I grew up in like Atlanta, Metro Atlanta area. Born in Atlanta, but I was born in Piedmont, so I'm not a Grady baby, but it's still Atlanta, North Atlanta though. And so yeah, born Piedmont, grew up the early years, Stone Mountain, Lithonia. Both my parents worked in DeKalb County, so like all those schools. My dad opened MLK. He worked at Southwest. Huh? My mom opened Champion. If you know Stone Mountain, Lithonia area, you know these schools. So they basically worked in there. My grandma worked in there. My grandparents lived like right by Stone Mountain. And so that's where I spent most of my like childhood. And then when I was in like 3rd or 4th grade, my mom moved to Henry County, but we still went to school in DeKalb. But then by 5th grade, I went to school in Henry County McDonough area, like south of the airport. And then
shout out McDonald's.
And then in high school, my mom got married, moved up north of Atlanta to Cobb County. But I always stayed like right outside the perimeter. So like, Metro Atlanta. It's Metro Atlanta. If you know, you know. So I'm one of those folk who's from Metro Atlanta, but, claims Atlanta because that's where I kind of grew up, And so I think for me, living in Atlanta, I didn't realize that people didn't live in Atlanta. Like, I don't know. First of all, why did I say Atlanta? I didn't realize
ain't from Atlanta.
Okay, chill out. I didn't realize people didn't live in Atlanta. So like, that sounds weird, but I didn't realize there were people outside of that until really high school or college. Because really high school or even middle school. Because growing up, my parents always took me downtown. Like I would go to like the Classic downtown, Battle of the Bands downtown. We would just go to Centennial Olympic Park. We would go to all these places downtown because my parents went to Spelman and Morehouse, and so we would just be downtown all the time. Like if we had something to do, we would go downtown or be in Stone Mountain and do all of that. So I was always downtown. But then when I got to like middle school, we would take like field trips to like the High or field trips to places, and people had never been downtown. I was like, this is my first time going downtown. And then in high school, I knew people who had never really been downtown, and I was like, that's crazy. So, and then when I got to college, people moved from farther away. Like my roommate David is from Milledgeville, and then my girlfriend is from Moultrie, and Moultrie is like 5 hours down south, basically near Valdosta.
Which is where I'm from. I'm from Valdosta. And
I'm like, she had like never been to Atlanta, I think, until college. So, yeah. And so like to everybody else, it's like a big city. But to me, it's like it's like, not really. And then the person who asked this question, he's from Columbus. And so when he got up here, learning to drive on the interstate and learning to drive in the city was like a big deal. And I was like, that's crazy. I learned to drive on the interstate. Like driving like from Kennesaw to Atlanta is not that big of a deal. It may be like 20 minutes, but that's not big. Like to me, basically anything that's like around the perimeter is not really far. I mean, kind of far, but like driving here to McDonough is like, okay, that's a trip, but it's not that bad. But then like driving 20 minutes to go to Atlanta, cool, I would drive to Atlanta real quick and drive back up. And like getting on the interstate and navigating the interstate, like the HOV lanes and all that stuff, it's not really weird for me, but realizing that other people, it's such a weird thing. It's so foreign. Or coming to Atlanta is a trip. It's like, as from you, like being in Douglasville and Carrollton and stuff. Not a trip, but it's like something you do. Like you don't just go downtown every day. Like you need something, so I'm just gonna go downtown. Or I want this one restaurant, so I'm gonna go downtown. I'm gonna go to Howell Mill. It's like y'all are going to do something. You're going out, or you're not
to the city. You're going to Buckhead, going to Lenox, whatever. Like yes, going to the city was a thing.
Right, but for me, it's like, okay, I'm gonna just go to Lenox today. I'm going to Perimeter, or I'm gonna go downtown. I'm meeting my dad downtown.
But like, it wasn't. I'm like, like the first 2 times of going to Atlanta, because like Villa Rica is like 30 miles west of Atlanta, so like going there isn't a hassle. So like,
right.
I kind of feel like, how you say it was a trip for us, but like we went to Atlanta a lot, bro.
I know a lot. I mean, you're still on the cusp of Metro. Like you're right on the Metro. Like you're not.
Douglasville is like I think the last part or whatever.
You're not like Columbus or like Milledgeville. Like if you were outside of Georgia, you could low key still say you're from Atlanta. Like you could. I'm saying like if you're outside in California, perimeter. If you're from California,
oh me,
yeah,
oh yeah, and I do say
yeah,
that
you can say, oh, I'm from Atlanta.
Just to make it
simple. But if you're here, you're not going to say, oh, I'm from Atlanta, because you're not. You're from
the suburbs. Shout out Villa Rica. We are VR.
But even still, anybody who's from Metro Atlanta, like me, even still, I would say, if somebody asks me where you're from, I'm not gonna be like, I'm from Atlanta. I'll be like, oh, I was born and raised in Stone Mountain, Lithonia.
So who can say they're from Atlanta? Like
folks who are from Atlanta.
But like what county? Like
Fulton. But
isn't that where Six Flags is?
Yeah, that's on like the outside. No, Six Flags in Cobb County. But it's right on the edge. But yeah, that's Cobb County. Basically, if you're from Atlanta, you know you're from Atlanta. Like if you're from like
okay, yeah.
But even still, people who are from Atlanta would say, "Oh, I'm from specific places." But I would say, because everybody would be like, "Oh, I'm from Decatur." Well, that's another city. But like all these other little offshoots.
Mm-hmm. Because whenever we would go down to Valdosta and crap to see our cousins, oh yeah, they're from Atlanta, I would just take it.
Yeah,
like,
that's whatever. The same for me because my family, a lot of my family lives in like Chattanooga. And so I was like, oh yeah, they live in Atlanta, even though, and then they're like, oh yeah, this person lives in Atlanta when really they don't live, they live in Conyers or live in like Athens. And it's like, but it's all Atlanta to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it's like living in Atlanta. And it's like a weird, like I think being from Atlanta raised, like being from Metro Atlanta or whatever, like really had a big influence on me. And so I have like a tattoo, like it's an Atlanta tattoo, but it's a lot going into that. But like, Atlanta culture, like Atlanta rappers, like Atlanta, I don't know, like growing up in that Stone Mountain, Lithonia, like especially being like in DeKalb County, like from DeKalb County, stuff like that. And even like Fulton a little bit from some things, like, I don't know, really has a different impact on you. You kind of, it's like being in the city and not, it's like Southern City.
Southern City.
Yeah.
That's where I'm from. Country suburbs. You can see like the difference, like in just from 30 miles, maybe even closer, but just like the difference in like how we carry ourselves, how we talk, how we dress. It's pretty mind blowing. Very obvious. You can tell where I'm from and you can tell where he's from pretty much. I think.
Interesting. I can see that. But even still the difference, you can tell that I'm like from Metro Atlanta and not like from Atlanta, because like
so like even that,
and I don't have an accent either, which is kind of funny because if you I looked at like an old video of myself, like when I was like 4, 5, maybe younger than that. It was like me and my brother, and we low key have little Atlanta accents because we were growing up in like Stone Lithonia, so we sound like them.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny that I lost that sense, but I think that's just me growing up and like neither one of my parents have accents, and I moved around so many times, like going to different schools and stuff, so I didn't grow up in one concrete area where everybody talked one specific way.
Yeah.
And so I think I kind of just lost that, but it was funny watching that video, and that would make sense because around the time of that video, I was primarily around people with those type of accents. So it's interesting how that kind of fades away. Anyways, last question before we move on. That question is, what are your goals and aspirations? And I guess we'll try to make this short. Actually,
world domination.
I think maybe we should table this. Maybe just answer it briefly, and then we'll have another episode where we talk about just specifically this, because I feel like we can talk for a long time about that.
And whatever. So I'll just try to put very lightly my goals and aspirations. Really to just be an influence on a large scale. That's very shallow and like light, but to be an influence.
Ditto.
On a large scale.
Like, I think for me, I want to leave an imprint on the world. And also, I want to be the greatest person to do everything that I'm doing. So, like, or do everything to a great scale. I want to be on, like, the pantheon of, like, greats in the specific things I do. So, like, for me, I'm an actor, I'm a writer, and I make music. I want to be, if not the greatest in each individual, the greatest in one, but one of the greatest to do all the things. So, like, I think Donald Glover, who's one of my idols, will go down as probably one of the greatest multifaceted artists to exist. And I think that's what I want to do as well. What I do, become the greatest in it and submit my legacy and impact a lot of people on a large scale. So, like, and change the world.
Have fun doing it.
And have fun doing it. Because if you're not having fun doing it, there's no point.
Yes.
Like, I think if I get to that point to where I'm doing what I want to do on that large scale and I'm not having fun anymore, I really would kind of be like, dang, what was I doing my entire life?
Yeah. So pretty much what he said, what I said, all meshed together, and that's the goal and aspiration. I know if you like know, bro, come on, bro.
I'm sorry.
If you know me, I'm pretty like goofy and it's like, you know, not always there or like whatever.
Aloof.
That word. But no, like when it comes to like goals and dreams, I'm very like, I don't know, focused on like achieving those. So
yeah, I think we're both pretty like straightforward in terms of maybe not articulating our goals the best, but knowing that we're going to achieve them.
Yes. You just have to know. All right. And for some reason, like I just know.
Same.
I don't know how I know. I just know.
Like there's no doubt in my mind that I'm going to achieve those. But I mean, I think this is...
That you're not going to achieve those.
There's no doubt in my mind that I am
going to achieve.
Exactly.
Oh, damn.
I have no doubt that I'm going to achieve.
That's what he's talking about, bro. Like, you look, man, I'm not all the way there. You know?
It's okay.
But it's fine. I'm practicing. Like, I don't talk a lot ever.
He does not.
So, like, this is just me trying to really learn how to talk again.
Give him some encouragement. How is Tristan doing on the mic?
Look, man, let me know
what he's saying.
Like, because I don't know how I sound. I don't know if I'm like, you know, pronouncing my words, you know, correctly. Is that good?
I like that. Do it again for the one time.
Correctly.
Ooh. So much enunciation, diction,
language, usage of certain words and crap. I'm practicing. I'm learning. I don't talk a lot. I messed myself up a long time ago.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyways, I think. Anyways.
Well, one thing I do know and irks me is when he says anyways.
Anyways, moving forward, I think we can talk about goals for a long time. So we'll maybe separate a whole section of a separate podcast for that.
Yes.
But I think we should give the people more of what they want. And in that last episode, we talked about...
Oh, the last episode.
Yeah, we talked about movies and how if people give us suggestions of movies, we would watch those movies and then do our little review of the movie or kind of talk about the movie.
Yes.
And so we did get a lot of suggestions.
We got a lot of suggestions.
Shout
out Alec. Shout out Emmanuel. Shout out Devontae people,
A lot of people. People sent us movies. And some people sent several movies. So obviously we did not have time to watch all of those movies. But I think we're going to have like a running list, and throughout the weeks, we're going to watch 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe movies and highlight or talk about one or two of them on the podcast. Each week, or maybe every other week, or something along those lines. And so today we decided to watch Kids, which was a suggestion by Emmanuel Lyons.
Roar.
We'll put his Instagram here, somewhere around here. Give him a follow. He also makes great music.
Dope rapper.
Yeah, he's working on an album right now. Saint Even is his rap name.
Stage name.
Yeah, stage name. And if you're listening to this, go check him out. I'm pretty sure Saint Even, SAINTEVEN. I'm pretty sure that's on Spotify and things of that nature. But anyways, Kids is his favorite movie. And so we decided to watch that. That's the first movie we're going to talk about. We're just going to talk about that today. Try to give as little spoilers as possible. But I guess just initially, what were your thoughts? Base thoughts on the movie.
Base thoughts.
Yeah.
Off rip. I mean, I guess in total it was a good movie. But off rip, first scene, action, it was just weird or awkward or like uncomfortable. One, because I didn't know how old they were. All right? Or
like how old the characters were, or how old the actors were playing?
Man, both, but I guess the characters, because they, whatever. It was uncomfortable at first. It's very weird because, I love things. But when I see it in on a TV screen, and it's like very like focused and like, ooh, you're watching this, especially if people look young, it's very weird to me. But I can
see that.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. The movie, it was cool because like they are young in the film, and they are out here, partying, drinking, smoking. And when I was that age, I was doing the partying, but not the drinking and smoking. So, I mean, I kind of connected with that aspect of it. And, yeah, it was just funny because, like, the movie's called Kids, but it's like they portrayed themselves or, like, carried themselves as if they were, like, grown.
Adults, yeah.
But, like,
or maybe not grown, but, like, that they're children.
Yeah. But
I don't think that's the point.
Their antics and, like, the way they carried themselves and portrayed themselves, there was, like, they acted like children, but wanted so hard to not
be grown. Yeah, I agree with that. And I mean, I think the things that Tristan found weird in the movie, I think were the things that I like. I think this movie was the type of movie that I like. And as a writer, it's the type of movie that I would like to write. I love like coming of age movies, and also movies that are just real life. Like it's just like a fly on the wall. And I think that's what this movie kind of was. Especially there's like the first scene. It's literally like they're just walking down the street and you're kind of just following them. Mm-hmm. And it's like they're kind of not really paying attention to the camera or anything. The best way I could describe it, this movie is like mid-90s, but actually during the mid-90s. I think it's like the same time period, but this was actually it when it was happening. Yeah. Filmed in it and everything, and also on the East Coast. And I mean, to me, it was very cool because it seemed so real. And one thing that I think we both noted, there were little phrases that they were saying that we still say today, and this is 25 years later. I
swear, buddy said no cap in the movie.
And what was the other thing that I said? He said don't dead it, like talking about like a drink.
Oh yeah.
It was a drink, and he was like don't dead it. Like dude was like, can I have some? And he was like, yeah, but don't dead it. And it's like we still say these things today. And I was like, that's kind of crazy how 25 years later, teenagers and kids are still behaving in the same way they are right now.
The diction is still the same.
That is incorrect.
Damn.
You were close, though.
So what is it? If it's not diction, isn't that word choice?
The jargon. Diction is how you say.
Bro, which one is word choice? I swear it's diction, bro.
Maybe?
I don't know. I don't know.
We can look it up. But I mean, I think
choice. For
me, diction, because the actor is just like how you articulate and enunciate. Bro. Let's look it up right now.
No, don't.
Maybe when you're writing, that's like diction, how you dictate things. Like, anyways.
Possibly.
Yeah, so it was it was cool in the fact that it was very real, and like all the things like that were happening were just like things that I can just imagine people went through. For me, it wasn't my experience when I was 15, 16, 17 because I wasn't really out partying and stuff. Like I know you have the experience of going to the parties and seeing all those things. But for me, like I wasn't sexually active in high school. Well, not really. Like I wasn't having sex in high school.
Intercourse.
Yeah. And even when I was doing things of that nature, it was very briefly and with like one person, and I wasn't like going out to parties. And also they're in New York, so they have so much more freedom as kids, like just walking around, getting on subways, all that nature. I think it's different out here, but also just for me personally, I wasn't doing any of that stuff, and I wasn't really doing drugs like that. Like maybe towards my senior year, I started getting out more and hanging out more with people and kind of doing more of that hangout kind of thing, but it still was nowhere near to that level. And I wasn't going to the big house parties and things of that nature. But like watching the movie, you could see how authentic it was portraying things. Like my favorite TV show is Skins. And this reminded me a lot of a movie version of Skins. Like if this was what American Skins was like, because Skins is a British show. If this is what the American version of Skins was like, then the American version of Skins would have been good. But it's not. Sorry, Skins, but...
Yes, Skins. You dropped the ball.
You did. Only seasons that are good are the first 2 seasons.
Even though I haven't seen it.
It's amazing. Anyways, maybe you won't like it, though, because you didn't really like this movie like that.
I mean, I didn't not like it. It's just weird, bro. I don't like children.
But...
I don't like what they were... I mean... it's weird. It's not what happened in the movie was weird, but just like how I view it. I mean, okay, some things were weird, but just like I said this earlier, I don't know how I tried to make this make sense, but I don't like sexualizing sex. But do
you mean sexualizing sex or like putting it on a pedestal? I don't think you're saying sex. I don't think you mean like sexualize. I think you mean. What's the word? Oh my gosh. There's a word. I mean, glorifying it?
I mean, pretty much. But I mean, I guess glorifying, but just like, but when you're 15, 16, 17.
Okay, Storm.
Okay.
Continue.
When you're
okay,
like
Mother
15,
Nature,
16, 17.
Nature.
And I guess, like, I wasn't like this, but like whenever you, I guess, are having sex, like, it's all you think about. It's all you want. And like, it's like, that's literally all you talk about with your friends. At least in this movie, that's how it was. And I'm just like, I just had to remember that, okay, these guys are teenagers, whatever.
Yeah. And I mean, the goal of the movie, one of the kids is basically a nymphomaniac as a 16-year-old. He's a 16-year-old nymphomaniac who just wants to deflower virgins. Like that's
deflower.
That's his entire kind of premise. And that's what the movie is about. Kind of, sort of. So, I mean, it makes sense that that's kind of the focus of the movie is just... Also, I love movies. I didn't even think about this. I love movies that are like just one day. Like American Graffiti is a movie that's like that too, where it just follows the course of one day.
One day.
And I mean, this movie was like that. But that was kind of his goal. And so that was a lot of what he talked about specifically. And then there's one cool scene that I would think was very valuable. Or not valuable, very interesting to think about, because us as guys, we know the guy perspective of things. Yeah. And so we know the perspective where guys sit around talking about, you know, oh, that girl's hot, or oh, this is what I did. This is what girls like. This is the da-da-da-da-da. But what they did, they have that scene where the guys are having that, and then they have the exact same scene with like a group of girls also having the same conversation, and like they're kind of contradicting each other.
It just shows
and
you
like,
how much we don't know about each other.
Exactly. And how much I feel like as a guy, I'm like, yeah, guys talk about sex and guys talk about sports and, you know, all these things. But to me, it's like girls don't talk about that. But this movie highlighted that girls do talk about the same things guys do.
I knew this already,
in a similar way.
I knew this already. I knew this.
How you know that?
I knew this, man. Look, man. I knew this already.
Let them know.
They're not innocent. You are not innocent. You know I'm talking to. You're not. Where's the camera? I don't know which one is the lens is, but look, it's the same. It's the same up here.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess the world tries to make you think that it's not the same, like that. And I think that has to go with a deeper conversation of like, gender roles and sexualization and double standards and all this stuff that the world puts on forces upon people. So it's all preconceptions and notions that don't really mean anything.
And I ain't talking about Air Forces. All right, go ahead.
Oh my gosh. But it's the world we live in. And so I think that's something that this movie kind of did. It was like, they're both the same. But there's a lot of messed up stuff that happened in it that I'm not really going to spoil. But it's to me, I was very interested.
I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. It was, I guess, it did what it was supposed to do. So therefore, it was a good movie.
And another thing is, I looked up a little bit about one of the specific characters, the character Casper. These aren't any spoilers, but the actual actor who played him ended up dying. Tristan looked it up during the film. He ended up dying in real life 5 years later. So I just looked up more about him, and he was a skateboarder. He wasn't really an actor. He was just picked up on the street skateboarding one day by the casting director and was like, "Here, you're gonna be in my movie." And so I think that's kind of what happened with a lot of them. I don't think a lot of the people in the movie were actors. I think they were just people, similar to how mid-90s did, where it's skateboarders and actual people who live in the city kind of just existing. The only face that I recognized in the movie was Rosario Dawson, who was in it for a second. She's kind of an important character, but not really.
I mean,
kind of.
Yeah.
But it was cool how like she's the only person who kind of is famous off then. She was 16 in the filming of the movie, but I think I like films where they kind of just take people who actually live that life, so it made it a little more believable. Obviously he's older than the character he's portraying, but it was still believable. Like I believed this kid was kind of just, it seemed like the movie was just like not even like reality TV, but like there was just a fly real. Following these kids.
It was very real.
Yeah. And I really like that. Like I feel like some people might feel like that's boring and just like, oh, why am I just watching these kids have their regular day? Where at the end of this, nothing is going to change, you know? They're just going to keep living on, continue living their lives. But to me, that's so interesting. I would rather watch something like that than watch a big extravagant, big thing. Like I like realism and I like the human experience. And I think that's what this movie really highlighted.
It did. I think it did. I agree with everything you just said. But it was still weird for me.
Would you watch it again?
Yes, I'd watch it again because it was a good movie. Like,
but you're not putting it on your list of like best movies you've seen.
No.
See, I'm putting it. Like I said, I love this genre. Like it's one of my favorite genres. So this is going on. It's very Dazed and Confused, very American Graffiti, and so for me, it's like Dazed and Confused, like American Graffiti, kids.
Yeah.
Also similar to Warriors. I just watched Warriors a few what was that, like a month ago maybe? And Warriors, different content, but similar style movie where you're following a group of teenagers over the course of a day and teenagers making dumb teenage decisions.
I still make dumb teenage decisions.
Yeah, me too.
You don't grow out of that.
No, you don't. Well, I guess eventually you do, but we haven't. What?
I was going to do the drums, but you kind of messed it up.
Why?
Like that boomps.
But that wasn't even a joke.
It was like ironic. No, it wasn't. It was funny. It was funny. It doesn't have to be a joke to be funny.
You're right. But I don't think that was a joke or funny, personally.
That's all, how your brain works.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Kids, what are you giving it? Scale out of 1 to 10. This is going to be our way we rate movies for now. 0 to 10. And it can be like, it doesn't have to be a clean 1, 2, 3. It can be point anything.
I give like a 7.2.
A 7.2?
Yeah.
I'm giving it
maybe an 8.2.
Well, but also, okay, when you're judging this, make sure you think about all the movies we're going to watch. Think about your favorite movie being like a 10. Or favorite movie an 11 even. And so judge it on that.
7.2. 7.2. 7.2. Like it wasn't a bad movie. It was cool. Like,
okay.
I enjoyed watching it.
I'm going to give it a 8.6. Yeah, I'm going to go 8.6.
It's a pretty tall movie.
Still, I'm thinking you're missing the bar with that.
I'm funny, bro.
Oh.
But look, all right. So I was telling him earlier and trying to explain to you guys in the last video, like, I'm not very reactive. And I realized, or not reactive, but like comprehension skills, man. I had them. But like, I realize now when I watch anything, if I'm watching a movie, TV show, movies and TV shows. And I'm like, into it. I'm focused. I'm like, okay, following what the heck is going on. I'm there. But if you were to come up to me and ask me, what just happened? What did he just say? And if I'm like into it and I got to come out, I'm just like, oh, wait a minute. I would not know how to answer your question.
That's so weird.
I don't know. I was like, damn, I just watched it or heard that, but I don't know what he or she just said.
Which is so different for us, because I think what you do, you just watch movies just to be entertained.
Literally, I don't think about anything.
And I watch movies with a critical lens. I do everything with a critical lens, though.
I do not.
Yeah, so I guess we're good.
Opposites attract, bro. Maybe there's more to us than we know.
That was so deep, Tristan.
Well,
wow.
We got to discover that for ourselves.
Wow, Tristan.
21st
century poet. 21st century philosopher.
That's
Call
me.
him Socrates.
Socrates.
Homer.
Tris.
Who's some other philosophers? I don't know.
I don't know. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Anyways, yeah, so I mean, we're going to keep doing this with the movies. So keep giving us movies. We'll add them to the list. Another thing we had the idea of, we're both artists. We're both musicians. We love music. If you have like any type of art you want us to like kind of look at, plug. If you want to send us songs, we'll listen to your songs.
Send us albums, send us songs, send us work.
Send us work. If you're a poet, you want to send us some poems, we can read your poem. We can
read your poem.
We can read your poem on the podcast.
Yes.
Or we can listen to your music, and then if you guys send us some music, we'll have maybe like 3 or 4 of our favorites, and we'll maybe play a snippet and kind of talk a bit about it on the podcast. Plug you on the podcast.
Maybe eventually, if and when we get like a third mic up here, we might let you guys come on the show and plug yourselves. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But that's in the future.
Yeah. So in
the future.
Long story short, keep sending us movies to watch. I think that was really cool.
And I kind of do want to actually get music too, like not your music yet, but just like if you have like favorite albums, because we love music. So
we love music.
Send us music too, bro. Like,
I think what I'm also gonna do, I have a top 10 list of all my favorite movies with honorable mentions. I'm gonna put that somewhere here too, so y'all can see that. I guess if you're watching, if you're listening,
social media.
Yeah, we'll post it. That's what we'll do. We'll post it also on our Instagram in like the kind of the highlights or whatever. My favorite movies, my favorite albums, Tristan's favorite movies, Tristan's favorite albums. And then maybe y'all will change our mind. Maybe y'all will add something to the list. Like for me, I think Kids is gonna go on my honorable mentions list.
This man loves that movie.
I just love that genre.
Okay, I feel that.
And I'm not saying objective best, but favorite movies. We can also do a running list of like the ones that get the highest scores for each of us, and we'll add that on it too. Same thing with albums. Send us your own music, send us your art. Let us know if you want to be plugged on the show, and we'll do that.
Yeah, to get a feel of like my favorite. I mean, I like all kinds of music, like literally. But my favorite artist is The Weeknd. So spacey, moody, melodic ass music is dope. So if you have something that you think you could put me on with.
But he also really likes
rock.
Like he loves Queen.
Like
it's random.
Everything.
He loves Queen.
I love Queen. I love Red Hot Chili Peppers.
He's also a musical genius. He just doesn't know it yet.
Bro, chill out, bro. We're not doing it. Yes, I don't know it. I'm not though. So like, I'm working on it. Look, I'm a DJ. You know what I'm saying? I could play the keys a little bit, but I'm working on all that.
This man teaches himself Beethoven. It's crazy.
Chill. Exaggeration, hyperbole. It's hyperbole.
We know.
I'm glad you know. I know. What are you talking about?
But yeah. So my favorite artist is Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. Love that man.
Really? Donald Glover? I'm playing. Yeah, he's dope. And I love that.
Yeah. So anyways, but don't even just send us things that you think we'll like. Send us whatever
everything,
you like.
Because I like
whatever
everything.
you like, and we're gonna go for it and look at that. So maybe we'll alternate between movies and music each week or whatever. Maybe if we expand to 2 podcasts, we'll do a music, movie. We'll see.
All that.
I think it's been a good episode.
You think so?
Yeah.
Think it's time to wrap it up?
I think it's time to wrap it up.
Wrap it up and wrap it up.
Stay safe in these streets.
In these COVID-19 streets.
Yeah.
Stay protected. Stay home. Wash your hands for 20 seconds.
I guess.
Sing happy birthday.
Sure. That makes sense.
Happy birthday to you.
Speaking
For
of
me?
birthdays,
Yeah.
speaking of birthdays, today is my little cousin's 8th birthday. So wish my cousin Tyler a happy
Speaking of
birthday.
birthdays-
If you made it this far, wish my cousin Tyler
In
a
the
happy
comments.
birthday. In the comments.
Speaking of
on the YouTube
birthdays,
video.
today is my Nana's birthday as well.
Oh, happy birthday,
Happy
Nana.
birthday, Nana. Hey, if you made it this far, if you didn't click off because we, are boring, show some love.
Yeah.
Show some love.
Happy birthday, Nanny.
Nanya.
Ooh. Happy birthday, Nana.
Nana.
Happy birthday, Tyler.
Tyler.
In those comments, show your support. We've been Children at Play. Once again, I am JALEN.
And I'm Tristan.
Thank you for tuning into the podcast.